Okay, guys, 7th here, and this is the demo for Ninja Gaiden 3. And right off the bat, I find it kind of troubling that they have these Modern Warfare 2 and 3 inspired map screens during the loading. This is not a good sign, to say the least. But we will see. We will see. Maybe this is just a coinky-dink. Who knows? So, let's take a look. Now we have your cutscene, and here's Ryu standing up there on top of Big Ben, looking very similar to how he has in the previous two games. And we're going to have another long, drawn-out cutscene, and basically the gist of it is that the the governments of the world, they contact the Japanese's defense force to get Hayabusa to go take out these bad guys. And so you have this really long, drawn-out, boring cutscene, which I don't know. I remember playing the NES games, and they were one of the first games ever to really incorporate these kind of cinematic cutscenes. And it doesn't say much to where I find the brief little cutscenes in the original NES game more interesting than what's going on here. We went from women in tight, barely concealed boobery costumes to some chick in a suit. And I guess you could say that that's definitely the exit of Itagaki's influence, I suppose. Now, I know later on in the game there is a chick that wears a slightly more revealing costume, but in the previous Gaiden games, they pretty much all dress that way. So you could tell from the get-go that it's been kind of toned down somewhat, and you're really going to see that, I think, when the actual gameplay starts too. And you're going to see the influence of the Toei, merging with Toei, or however that's pronounced. Because they're known for the Dynasty Warrior series, and if you haven't seen the gameplay for this yet, you're really going to be surprised compared to the previous Ninja Gaiden titles, and I'm rather disgusted by it. It really just makes me sick thinking about the first experience I had playing this demo, and we're about to get into the thick of it here, so you're really going to see what I'm talking about. And it starts out promising with, flying down to their level and whatnot. This is kind of cool, although it reminds me of that Ninja game for 360. Ninja Blade. That it's pretty bad when Ninja Gaiden 3 seems to be ripping off a Ninja Blade. But look at this combat. Now, you can't really tell much from one fight, but wait till you get to where you're fighting multiple guys, and you're going to see how lame this has become. There is practically no more strategy involved here. It's everything that you can do with Ryu or however you prefer to pronounce it can be accomplished with button mashing. Now, sure, you can pull off more interesting combos, and you'll see me pull off some of that stuff here in a little bit, but the whole fighting to survive and really having to counter and block and all that kind of thing is out the window. This has become pure Dynasty Warriors inspired crap. And Dynasty Warriors can be fun for what it is, but you don't expect that kind of gameplay from a Ninja Gaiden title. I mean, look at this shit. And you'll notice you're not seeing any body parts flying off or any of that anymore. It's just blood splatter. And where have you seen that before? Ah, yes, Dynasty Warriors series. You're not seeing the kind of gore that you saw in the previous games, just like you aren't seeing the amount of tits and ass like you did in the previous games. That's the loss of Itagaki. And the merging with the creators of Dynasty Warriors has just cut the balls right out of this series. And there's another move that you're going to see me do a little later on that really shows off how easy this game has gotten. And that's been the biggest complaint from all the reviewers that I've read, is that the game is just too damn easy. And you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean. When it comes, I'll let you know what it is, because you're not seeing it yet. Well, I'll go ahead and tell you. Basically, one of your shoulder buttons will cause you to slide. And this is primarily supposed to be used for sliding under obstacles and whatnot. But what you can also effectively do is use it to dodge projectiles. If you do it in such a way, you become almost unhittable with it. And you'll see that here in a minute. That I call it the zigzag slide because that's basically all you have to do to avoid any enemy attacks from guns and whatnot, which I'm not doing it right now because I'm showing you how easy it is to just slice your way through without really trying to do any actual moves. You know, no combos or any of that kind of thing. Now, there's not really any kind of weapon modification as far as like getting all sorts of cool and hot, you know, ninja weapons and that kind of thing. It's been stripped down to where basically it's your sword, and that's about it. Now, you see that? That's this little zigzag maneuver. You just slide left, slide right, slide left. They can't hit you, and that's not really what, from what I've read of the documentation for the game, that's not really what that button is used for. You're supposed to just use that for sliding under things that you can't walk past, but you can use it to dodge rockets and everything else. Now, this is another thing. You know, the storyline of this game is supposed to be that, you know, Ryu has been cursed to where he's got this cursed arm, and it has to do with all the murder and wrong things that he's done and this and that. But yet you have a scene like this where you've got a guy begging, I've got a family, and it doesn't give you the choice to do the right thing and not kill him. You just kill him. That's the only option the game gives you. So the action doesn't really even gel with the storyline that they're trying to tell. And I just don't get that. Now, here's what you're supposed to use that move for. See, sliding under stuff you can't reach. But you can use it at any point in the game. So you just zip, 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 zip around anything that comes flying at you, and it's funny. It just cracks me up. Here you are sliding again. Now, another thing that I haven't mentioned thus far is what happens when you pull off some of these action combos. And that's that to make it more cinematic or what have you, the camera will go to sideways, it zips up, it zips right, it zips up, you know, vertical. It goes all these different directions to try to give it a more cinematic look, but then it doesn't snap back to the view that you had before. So all of a sudden you're facing a different direction that you were before you started the combo, and you have to reorient yourself as to where all the bad guys are, and it can cause you to, you know, take a bullet to the back or whatever. And, you know, to me, I think gameplay should always take precedence over the cinematic stuff if it's going to negatively impact it like that. So, you know, that annoys me. This didn't seem to work too well either, and it may just be because it was the first time I was ever trying to do it, but I kept falling on my ass every time. And part of that, of course, because there was a bad guy up there and the graphics are so dark, I wasn't seeing it because I was looking at the prompts. But there was a guy up there that kept throwing something at me and knocked me off the wall and shooting at me. So, you know, I finally killed him, finally noticed, finally paid attention to what was being said on screen. But for whatever reason, I kept falling off trying to get this to start. Not sure what I was doing wrong. I was pressing both just like it said on the screen, but it took me several tries to get up there. And yeah, I don't know why they implemented this into it. I don't know why you can't just zip up there and it be just kind of fast and fluid like it was in the previous game. It's that particular design choice really baffles me because all it does is slow the gameplay down. So I really don't know why they did that at all. But here's, you know, the epic stealth element of the game, which is basically sneak up behind the guy and stab him. Wow. Epic stealth for a ninja, right? And here's where you dodge missiles and aerial attacks. Yay. And then you're right back into the same old shit. Slash, slash, slash. Being assaulted by multiple enemies. Can't progress to the next area until all the enemies are killed. What does that sound like to you? Dynasty Warriors, perhaps? Well, you might have guessed right with that one. And it's just, like I said, look. You guys have played the original Ninja Gaiden games, or at least the what you call next-gen Ninja Gaiden games. You see body parts flying around everywhere, and you're not seeing that. This is just blood pools. You know, they've really kind of just stripped the testosterone out of this game to a great degree. And oh, and here's your one magic move you can do. Big-ass dragon that's supposed to eat the bad guys. Problem is, 9 times out of 10, it doesn't even eat them, it just scares them to where they won't fight anymore. What the fuck is that shit? Can't customize your magic anymore. Can't customize shit. Fuck this game. This has got bargain bin written all over it, and I guarantee you Itagaki's out somewhere laughing his ass off. Don't even bother with this game, guys. I'd rather play the original NES game. And who knows, maybe later today, I will. At any rate, this game sucks. This is 7.